This is my audience number 1, my audience number 2. I don't have any visual aids for this speech. I've been traveling with work, and so I didn't have an opportunity to print anything out or bring any items. So to get started, I work with a company called Varsity. Inside of their company is a department called the Varsity Shop Store, and I work for the Varsity Shop Store over the summertime and during the school year. And with them, there's a lot of steps that go into the process of setting up a dance or cheer competition. The first step is finding out my travel and event information. The second step is finding out all of my boxes and their information. And the third step is setting up and closing out my store. So to start with the first step, which is finding out my event and my travel information, I usually find out where my event will be and when it will be the week before, maybe 2 weeks, just depending. This could mean if I'm going to be flying or driving to my event, and if I'm flying, they usually give me a rental car, and if I'm driving, I use my car. For the event information, I find that out the week of. The location could be anywhere. It could be in a coliseum, a high school, or in a civic center. It just depends. And so moving on to my boxes and their information, I usually get a phone call the day of an event, like a competition or dance one, giving me information on how many boxes I have and who signed for them when they arrive there. But for camps, I usually just go ask my camp manager where those will be. For my boxes, I also have to open each box and count the inventory and the accessories and make sure each thing is accounted for. Depending on the amount of boxes, it usually takes me 2 hours. Sometimes I'll get 10 and sometimes I'll get 40. I never know until I get there. At the end of the camp, I have to do the exact same process and count all the stuff again and then put it back into the boxes. And at this point, I either order a pickup or I deliver them to FedEx myself to be shipped off. It just depends. My boxing range can end from 8 boxes all the way to 15 boxes, just depending. So that gives a big factor into if I'm gonna deliver them myself or if I'm gonna order a pickup. Moving on to my setup and my closeout information, I usually have to start up my register for my dance and cheer and camps. I set up with 10s, 20s, 5s, and 1s, and coins out of my own bank account, but by the end of the camper competition, I have enough money to take out my startup money and then just put that stuff away. I also have to set up my credit card machine, and so this takes about 30 seconds. I just have to turn it on and see if it connects to the service. And then I also have to set up my store, so that means getting out my clothes after I've counted them from my boxes and putting them on each table and making sure the outfits go together and that it'll be easy for customers to find their sizes. Next, I have to fill out an inventory sheet. There's 2 parts to it. 1 copy goes to the varsity sales rep and 1 copy goes to the warehouse. And on this inventory sheet is just all of the clothes and accessories that I had to count and write down. There's also 3 other sheets of paperwork that I have to fill out. 1 is for how many people are in the store, and so every 30 minutes of the day that the store is open, I have to write down the range. It could be from 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Usually it's about 5 or 10, so it's not bad. The second sheet is for my credit card information, if it's been tampered with, and also the one that I have. The third sheet is for my setup and my closeout, how smooth the process was of setting it up. And then for my event, I have a specific closeout packet, and inside this packet there is a reimbursement form for me for if I'm traveling with my car, then they pay for my gas or for my meals also. And inside it I have to put my money orders, so at the end of the event I have to turn in my money that I earned from the cash register, and I'll take it to the bank and then they give me money order back, and so I just stick that inside the closeout packet. And then inside of that closeout packet is also like prepaid ordered forms that customers order. So if I run out of stuff, like clothes or accessories for them, they can order this and it'll be shipped to their house. This closeout packet has to go in about 3 days after my event. That way I can get commission from it. So in conclusion, running the Varsity Shop store at a dance or cheer competition or at a camp is a very tentative, strict steps in processing. I always have to find out my event information and my traveling information. I always have to find out my boxes in order to set up the store, and then I always have to have my setup and my closeout paperwork, or else I wouldn't be able to do the job. Thank you.